All right, so let me tell you about one of the worst jobs that I had while deployed to Iraq. Now, during my first deployment, I was part of a Patriot unit, and our mission was to shoot down Scuds and just keep the skies over Iraq, Kuwait, and all those neighboring countries safe. So, our unit drove out into the middle of the desert, and we had to set up our own camp. Now, we didn't have bathrooms, we didn't have porta-johns, so we had to make do with what we had. So what we did was we took coffee cans, we grabbed some sandbags and made some makeshift toilet seats, and we built little outhouses out of whatever wood or material we had laying around or that we took with us. So as you can imagine, by the end of the day, those coffee cans were pretty full. And being that I was one of the lowest ranking soldiers out there, it was my job to empty it out and get rid of the waste. Now, the way you do that is you take a tent pole, you carry the coffee can out to a burn pit, pour it out, try not to get any of it on you because let me tell you, it's a disgusting job. And after doing it a couple times, you get used to it, but when you first do it, it's pretty terrible. So you pour some JP8 on the poop in the burn pit, which JP8 is just military term for diesel, and you set it on fire. And let me tell you, that's quite a terrible smell. You once you experience that smell, it's not something that you can easily forget. And you have to do all of this before it gets dark, because if you start burning poop in the middle of the night, the enemy would know what your location is, either from the light coming from the fire or the smell from the burning poop, which could probably be smelled from miles away. So either way, best practice is to burn it before it gets dark. Now, luckily for me, I wasn't the only low-ranking soldier out there, so the job would rotate between me and my buddies. So one day, two of my buddies, they were on the poop burning detail, and they got bored, so they started looking at ways to entertain themselves, and they were like, oh, hey, why don't we try jumping over the poop and see how far we can make it? So they go back and forth, and one guy wants to do it, the other guy doesn't. So finally, one of them just says, screw it, I'll go first. So he grabs the pole, he sticks it into the burning pile of poop, and just flies over it. And then he poop vaults back to his buddy. Then the second guy says, hey, I want to see if I can make it. So he goes ahead and does it. Next thing you know, this becomes a spectator sport, and everybody starts coming out of the tents to watch these two guys just jumping over this burning pile of poop. Now, unbeknownst to these two guys, the first sergeant noticed a commotion over by the burn pit. So he comes walking over, and we could tell just by the look on his face that he was upset, but at the same time trying not to laugh. Of course, he wasn't happy. He had two of his guys jumping over a burning pile of shit. So he pulled them aside, chewed them out for a while. But luckily, he decided to make them the designated poop burners for the rest of the deployment, which meant I didn't have to do it anymore. And that is the story of the worst job that I had while deployed to Iraq. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. See you on the next one.